Welcome to a new adventure of sailing the sea. In the previous episode we couldn't sail yet because of our planned city trip on the island, but we are going to make up for that in this one. There are still a few tasks on the list that we have to check off first, and when that is done we plan a test drive to Malta to check if everything that has been repaired or adjusted works properly before really setting sail for our adventure in Greece this season. Later in this episode we also talk about a much needed purchase that we made that hopefully solves our daily problem that life on board brings with it. So keep watching.
That's gonna make a whole difference.
I hope you enjoy the movie.
Hi guys, vacation is over and it's time to get started on my winter projects. The bottom of the dinghy is getting loose from the tubes. So that's what I'm going to do today. And this project is already getting worse with the minute. All the glue just falls apart. Okay, so here we go.
After respecting the 72 hours of drying time, our dinghy was ready for use again. On to the next.
The line of the traveler, because she's starting to shave and I don't want to take the risk next season when we are in strongly winds that my line breaks and I lose my traveler, so precaution. But of course it's not going easy because this rope must be jammed in this block and then they secure it with a plastic piece that you have to press between the block and the rope, and it's probably been there for a couple of years, so it's really stuck. So this is the piece where I'm talking about. As you can see here at the end, it's just some plastic, so if you're not careful enough, it just breaks and then it's stuck forever, I think. So I'm glad this one is out. One more to go.
After finally removing the old lines from the block, it turned out that we were far from there. The thread with which the bolt holding the rollers of the block and the attachment to the main sheet were held turned out to be completely perished by the galvanic corrosion between the aluminium block and the stainless steel bolts.
As you can see, these holes are completely worn out.
Now I had discovered a tool on the internet with which you could pull new thread without having to enlarge the diameter of the bolts.
These tools I can put new thread in the old holes of the block of the traveler. So it's just something like this. This is 8 mil. So I have high expectations of this. According to the test that they have done with this brand, it should resist a strength of 1000 psi, so that should be enough for the main sheet. Let's give it a try. Looks good to me.
And so the list of jobs continued the following days. From varnishing to pulling new threads in the mast, and from hanging an extra light in the kitchen to installing a new bilge pump.
Project of today. We have to be in the engine compartment because I'm installing a new bilge pump. I had the old one served in the Netherlands, but it doesn't work properly, so I finally bought a new one here in the marina, and it's completely in plastic, so I don't have the problem with the corrosion what I have with the old bilge pump, and that's why it's always sucking air, and that's why it doesn't work properly. Plus it's installed behind the elbow, and in the manual of this bilge pump they say you have to install the bilge pump before the elbow, so maybe that's the cause why the other one wasn't working properly. I'm not sure, but now I'm gonna install it before the elbow and we'll see what happens. Okay, so the bilge pump is installed and now we just have to run a test.
Okay, 3, 2, 1.
And water is going out. Yes, sir. Check, another project of the list.
Then all that remains is a rigging check before hoisting the sails, and off we go. Or not.
Need to go back up because there is something wrong just above the middle of the mast. I can't get the sail higher up, so let's have a look.
And so I went up the mast for the second time. Now it turned out that one of the foils of the furling system was deformed at the back, and that because of this the luff of the mainsail could not pass.
I went up for the fourth time with my heat gun. I heated up the plastic and I was able to squeeze the foil back in its original state. So we raised the block of the mainsail without the sail and that worked smoothly. So now we're going to give it a shot with the sail. So fingers crossed.
Now it went through like a hot knife through butter. The next two head sails were no problem and we felt completely ready to cast off.
So you're back?
I'm back. I think we have everything we need.
Karin just picked up the last grocery. So now I think we have everything to go to Malta for a couple of days. And then we will come back to the marina after 5 days just to fill our tanks with water and do some grocery shopping. And then we are finally off starting the new sailing season.
That's the plan.
That's the plan. You must have a plan.
Always.
So good morning, it's now 6 a.m. and it's almost time to go. Just preparing myself a sandwich so I don't get hungry in the first hour and I certainly don't get seasick, because if I haven't eaten yet then the chances are big that I will be a little bit seasick, so just eating one sandwich to put something in my stomach and then ready to go. So we are out of the box with some assistance because it's a really narrow space, but we're out and we are heading for sea now. It's now 2 o'clock in the afternoon and we are only 14.5 miles away from our anchorage in Malta. So we're doing really good. We have an average speed of 7 knots an hour and the wind is between 15 and 20 knots and right on the beam, so nice sailing. We are now passing the capital of Malta, and that's the city Valletta. We're not gonna stay there today because the swell is still not comfortable enough to go to the anchorage of Ranilla Bay nearby Valletta, so we go further south. I found a little anchorage. It's called Il Ofra I Kebira. So whatever that means, but that should be fine for the night, and then tomorrow we come back to the Ranilla Bay, and maybe tomorrow or the day after we can visit Valletta. We can go with the dinghy ashore and take the bus to Valletta. Should be straightforward. It's a shame that the sun is already on that side of the island, because I think when you come here in the morning, when the sun is shining on the city of Valletta, it's gonna be pretty nice. So I hope we can see that tomorrow. And so we have arrived, and what a beautiful spot. It feels so good to be back at anchor. It's such a nice place, all alone. In summer it's another kind of story, but now we are completely alone. There's still a little bit of wind, 10 knots here in this bay, but that's nothing. Flat water, flat seas, so perfect for the night. Good morning. It's only 6:45 in the morning and the sun is just above the horizon. It's a beautiful morning and the fishermen around us are raising their nets. Let's have a look.
Okay.
This morning we have a much better view of the city. Now that the sun is on this side of the island, I can show you a much better image. But this has nothing to do with Valletta. Valletta is around the corner, because this is just all new developments, it seems. A lot of cranes, so they are building many properties for the tourists. And it's not beautiful. And we're almost at Valletta. As you can see, you have two entrances, one on the left, one on the right. And the right one is to go into town of Valletta, but there you are not allowed to anchor anywhere. You have to go into a marina,
Here on the left there is an entrance, and that's Rinella Bay. You should have permission to anchor in Rinella Bay. From there on you can take the bus to the main town of Valletta. So that's what we're going to do. So we made it to shore. It's 3 o'clock in the afternoon now, and we are catching the bus to have a glimpse of Valletta, and tomorrow we will go back. I had expected that this anchorage was a bit larger, but there's not too much wind at the moment, so we will be fine. I've tested the anchor properly and it kept well. So plus we met some nice neighbors, and they probably will keep an eye on it. So we need to catch bus number 3.
Yes.
Valletta is the capital of the Republic of Malta and is the smallest capital of the European Union in terms of population. The city originally dates back to the 16th century, and although Valletta still looks very authentic, many of the buildings date from just after the Second World War. During this war, many buildings and streets in Valletta were partly or even completely destroyed. It's really a mixture of everything.
Yeah.
We had English influence, Spanish, Italian, everything.
That's nice, isn't it?
Strange. But when the sun goes down and the lights come on, you really get the magical effect of the city. Now that we were here in Malta, we took advantage of it to stock up on motor oil.
The oil here is a lot cheaper than in Italy or Sicily. So
Or Greece or Montenegro, I called them all. So we had killed 2 birds with 1 stone and a goal for the day. We're now underway with our second bus, on our way to Ep.50, where the ship chandler should be. And I must say, this public transportation works very smoothly.
and they are very friendly also.
Yeah, all very friendly people. So, thumbs up for Malta.
And we are going.
Yeah, from here it's only 450 meters, 7 minutes walk. So, that's not so bad, huh?
No.
If we don't get lost. And we didn't.
Let's go in.
Yeah.
Found it.
I've got my engine oil, so we're good to go for the rest of the season. We are back at the bus terminal. This morning I have downloaded a city tour that you can do by foot, so that's what we are planning to do now. And normally we should see all the highlights of Valletta in this tour. So let's do this! And so we start at the statue of an important person who helped shape Valletta. This is the statue of Pope Pius V, and it was one of the benefactors or builders of Valletta. And he has his own personal architects to build the city. So
Okay.
in those days the popes did something else as now. And number 2 of the tour. So this is one of the oldest theaters in all Europe that is still operational. So you can still visit the theater in this magnificent building. And the list goes on. The statue behind me represents the revolution of Valletta, who took place in 1919. And now the more interesting part for us. Now at Café Cordina, one of the oldest coffee shops in Malta. And it's known as one of the best cafes in Europe. Of course we want to judge that for ourselves. Sweets have been served. I have the cannoli
ricotta, and you have the apple pie. So
Let's enjoy it.
yeah. I've seen these canolas all over Sicily and Malta, and this is the first time I'm gonna try them, so I'm curious. Nice.
What do you taste?
White cream, pistache, and some kind of cookie. And was it worth a visit?
Yes, it was worth it.
Of course, we couldn't leave this beautiful city without admiring the view from the Upper Baracca Gardens, the Saluting Battery and the Hastings Gardens, and then escape the crowds via the Victory Gate to the waterfront, and then finally go back from where we came via the Baracca lift.
Please, thank you.
Thank you. So because we are now on the waterfront, we are downtown, and we are going to take the elevator to go up again because our feet is hurting us.
And it was €1 for the lift.
Bye!
On our way back to the bus stop, we passed the Auberge de Castilla. This was the palace of the Spanish and Portuguese Knights of the Order of Malta, and as we really went back into time, we were treated to an ancient religious procession. Valletta surprised us more than pleasantly. What we saw that day was only a part of all the beauty that this city has to offer.
There's so much to see here. It's incredible. What a views. And we're back on the bus, heading to our mission. Bye bye, Valletta. But we'll be back.
We had actually planned to stay here a bit longer, but with a boat, it is the weather that decides what to do.
Today we are heading back to Marina di Ragusa because they predict a lot of wind tomorrow, and if we're not leaving today, we'll be stuck here until next Wednesday. So yeah, it's 6:30 in the morning now, and we are almost ready to go. I have to be careful with my neighbor because the wind has shifted since we came here, and I guess my chain is underneath my neighbor's boat. So I'm gonna put my boat in reverse, try to get over here, and then I hope my chain is that way.
And so we did. After some back and forth maneuvering, we were free.
We didn't catch him.
Bye bye, Valletta.
Almost midday and we are halfway, so we're doing an average speed of 5.5, 6 knots speed over ground, and we still have to go 25 nautical miles. Wind is coming straight from behind, so we've put the pole out and we're now sailing wing on wing. Boat is quite stable, but once in a while there's a big wave coming through and then she lifts the boat
And smash it down.
drama.
And shortly after that we had a wind shift and the pole could be removed, and we sailed on a broad course back to the marina. Good morning, guys! There's something I want to share with you. We have been on the road now for 2 years and we have an issue that returns every morning: finding fresh bread. Now we have been solving that by buying these bake-off breads in these plastic bags that you have to put in the oven for 10 minutes. But one, it takes a lot of space in the closets. Two, you have to use gas for only two sandwiches. You have to burn the oven for half an hour. And three, although we like it, it just gives us a bad feeling in the stomach sometimes. So what have we decided, and what was a real game changer? We bought our own bread machine. Et voila! Here she is! We just bought it in a local shop. It's an Italian brand. And the only hassle was there was only an Italian manual with it. But hey, we got Google Translate, no? So I have the water, I have the butter, I have the flour, sugar, just a little bit of salt. And the machine takes care of the rest. So we're now 4 hours later and my alarm just went off, so bread should be ready. Let's have a look. It smells delicious. Ta-da! And as long as we are on shore power, we can bake as much bread as we want, but when we are at anchor, I have to check it because it uses 750 watts and it takes 4 hours before the bread is ready. Okay, it will not use 750 watts constantly, but I will see how much it draws from my batteries when we are at anchor. But it's a very nice solution. Next time at Sailing Me Sea. After our successful test drive to Malta, we can leave for Greece full of confidence. However, this feeling does not last long. A burnt smell comes from the engine room and we do not find the cause, or at least not immediately. Hopefully our season is not coming to an end before it had even properly started. As always, I hope you enjoyed this episode. You can show this by writing a comment or simply sending a thumbs up. Until next time, guys, bye!